Welcome back, and now for a discussion on the newspaper headlines published from the national capital. We have with us in our studio senior journalist G Suresh. Thank you, Mr. Suresh, for joining us here on Breakfast Plus. The big headline in most newspapers about the reshuffle, very mixed reaction coming in from the media, but one thing they already started talking about was the next reshuffle, which the PM definitely laid to rest when he said no reshuffle till 2014. And in this reshuffle, he showed that performance has been awarded, so sending a very clear message.
Well, yes, it was not a big ticket reshuffle as it was being speculated widely, particularly after 2G, Adarsh, Commonwealth and all that. It is the first. So before the monsoon session, one was expecting some kind of a big thing. The Prime Minister stuck to his style of not taking any radical steps. But at the same time, the message is the continuity of policy, because none of the big four has been shifted. They remain. And you will see seven ministers have been shown the door for different reasons. And some new phases have been taken. Some have been promoted. I won't say it's a poll-centric reshuffle, because you don't see, except for Beni Prasad Verma getting a promotion and Rajiv Shukla and Salman Khurshid Rajiv Shukla coming in as a new face, you don't see much of UP in the entire thing. And similarly, Madhya Pradesh and even the upcoming elections, Punjab is there, Himachal is there. You don't see any reflection there. So this was more a kind of administrative exercise where the Prime Minister has taken into account the performance of the ministers and rewarded and punished them accordingly. I think that
the stick and carrot method is...
Okay, you're talking of it not focusing on the elections, and you're talking of how performance, and it's basically an administrative exercise which the PM has opted for. The Times of India, in its headline, says, "Shuffle unsettles PM's pack," is one headline. And in the editorial, it says it has not come out with a very clear message. Now, in the editorial meeting the Prime Minister had with the editors 2 weeks back, he emphasized on the fact that the cabinet reshuffle will focus on the image change over, perception change over for the UPA2 government. But then the editorial in the Times of India says it has not come out with a clear message. And also, you're talking of the way the Prime Minister has rewarded performance this time around, but then it has questioned why haven't the four big ministries, Home, Finance, Defence and External Affairs, not been touched? How would you read that?
Well, it could be the newspaper's assessment, like we are talking about the Prime Minister's assessment. And according to him, these four big ministries have done well. That's why they have not been touched, though there have been serious allegations against some of the ministers, particularly the Home Minister, by the opposition. But then he hasn't touched. That means that he is satisfied with the performance at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you see, cabinet reshuffle is the discretion of the Prime Minister. But at the same time, you will see that despite all the confabulations with the allies, the consultations with the UPA chairperson, you would see that the Prime Minister has not taken any radical decision, He has stuck to his style of a conformist style, maintaining a very delicate balance of not fraying the tempers.
And the concern of the allies has also been
because he has already announced that 2 vacancies are still there for DMK. Then again you would see that despite Mukul Roy being defying the Prime Minister's instructions, though he has been divested of railways because a cabinet minister has been brought in, he has been shifted only to a different ministry. So he has tried to balance the,
but very important, we saw that Dinesh Trivedi actually taking that step forward, going to the accident, the hospitals, visiting those accident victims, and also talking about giving a job to those.
That's the positive thing about this entire exercise, I would say, is that one, Dinesh Trivedi being made a full-time cabinet minister for railways, which the railways particularly required. Even when Mamta was around, her entire focus was on West Bengal. And here you have a minister, now you don't have any elections in West Bengal. So he can focus. Of course, there may be some tilt in favor of West Bengal, but overall, he's a professional person who has highly experienced person. One can expect Dinesh Trivedi to really do a good job about it, particularly with regard to, he has talked about zero tolerance with regard to railway safety, and one can expect. Similarly, Jairam Ramesh has been very concerned about, energy related, environment related issues, and his coming, a high profile minister taking over rural development, is something very positive. I'm sure that his energy would be seen there. Maybe his predecessor was not, at least not being seen, because here, rural development ministry is handling very crucial things like the National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. So it's a flagship program of the government. So these are areas where I think, and again the law ministry, yes, Mr. Moily has said that, he should not be punished for the mistakes of, certainly he is very right. I mean, you see, if there is some weakness, shortcomings, the law ministry cannot be blamed for that, particularly when you have an active judiciary which is taking interest and which is seized of all these corruption and other matters. But at the same time, Salman Khurshid, who himself is a practicing lawyer, taking over, and also a message to the minorities in Uttar Pradesh. I think that both a political and an administrative message has gone, and maybe the Prime Minister feels that this is the team he would like to, because as he has said, of course he has added a rider that in politics you cannot be, but I think that this is the team with which he wants to.
He's shown faith in that team and said that he's not going to change that till 2014.
All right, so Mr. Suresh, thanks so much for joining us this morning on The Breakfast Show. We'll leave it at that.
Thank you.